Hey everyone, I wanted to show you really quick how to use MindTap. I think you'll get used to it. It's a little bit tricky at first, but I think you'll get used to it and you'll learn to like it. Couple of different places that you can access the textbook. First here, this is course content. You can either click on this English 241 textbook, or notice it's always here in the menu bar. So you can click on e-text access English 241, and then it will open up. And sometimes it just takes a second, so you should kind of, I can tend to be really impatient, so I always think I messed something up, I want to touch a button, but actually you should just wait for a sec. Okay, this is my favorite view to look at. This actually shows you the ones with the three bigger bars, actually shows you sort of the table of contents of the book. Most of the things that we'll be reading will come from either this anthology of literary text. I have a couple of things where we use the case books, but then underneath here where it says additional readings Questia, British Lit, you'll see Middle Ages, 16th century, and Restoration, and the novels. These are things that I actually went to Cengage and I said, I want these works for my class, and they went and pulled them for you specifically. So you actually had a lot of people helping to make this class something that was going to work for you. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'll show you another way to get to the text in just a second, but while we're here, I wanted to show you a few of these sort of menu bars over here. You are welcome to use any of these. There's the full book that can show progress. Most of your assignments are going to be in Blackboard, not in the Cengage app, so you don't really need to worry too much about that. Study Hub is tutoring. So that's really helpful. This read speaker, there are a couple things that we'll do, particularly with sonnets and some poetry, that I think you'll find really helpful to actually sit and listen to them instead of just reading them. So I really want to encourage you to use this, particularly with poetry. And then here's my favorite. This is Questia. It's that little eye. In addition to the library databases where you can do, oh gosh, that didn't work. That's not cool. Here we go. Let's try this again. Sometimes it works the second time. Here we go. In addition to the library databases, you also have access to Questia. It's another library database, and I just love it. So you can see here I've looked up King Lear already. So let's look up Beowulf, because that's the first thing that we're going to read. So I'll click on search. Got quite a few results. And then, of course, as you know, it says, matching search result topics. This is great. Academic journals is really the way to go. So I think this is a really terrific opportunity for you to do some additional research in your classes. And as far as I'm concerned, I think this is not just for literature. Like you might be able to, if you're doing a psychology paper and you want to look up in Questia and see if they have any academic journal articles for a paper you're doing. It's worth a shot. If it works, please do let me know, because I would be really interested to find that out. But I love, love, love Questia. I think you'll be pleased with that. And then Connect Yard, I don't really use that, but that can tie social media in with Cengage. And you can create flashcards, do all sorts of really cool stuff. I'm still learning about MindTap, so I'm learning along with you. So as things as the semester goes along, there might be times where I ask you to try something for me, just to kind of see how it works and see if it's helpful. So I'm going to close this really quick, because I want to show you what it looks like to actually work in our class. So I'm going to scroll down to actually, I'm going to scroll down to the medieval literature module, which is the first one. And I'll go ahead and click on Beowulf. So if you look here where it has these sort of blue confetti looking things, anytime I have that, it's a link to an item in MindTap. So I'm going to click on this because this is the link exactly to your reading. It's called a deep link, and so I was able to pull out some specific things. I could only go so far though, and I'll show you. And again, you know, that first screen kind of pops up and then it'll turn into Beowulf. So you kind of just have to sit and wait for a second. Okay. All right, great. And here is our textbook. The thing to remember, this is not like a web page. It's like a textbook on your screen. So you still have pages to scroll through. The thing I like about it is you'll have this window open. because you'll make sure to turn off your pop-up blockers. And for the first week, we're reading pages 1 through 41. And I put a little bookmark there, but you look at the page numbers down here, or you can actually use this. So say the second week, you know you need to start at page 41. So I'll hit 41 and hit enter. And that's where I put the little bookmark. This is where you'll stop. And then you'll start back again the second week with Then They Sank to Slumber. But here's how you turn pages. You click on this button here. And you can also use the table of contents. Different works will use the table of contents differently. Like, for example, when we get to Canterbury Tales, I'm only having you read, I think, 3 selections. So you could click on the table of contents and then select the stories from here. It should work pretty smoothly, but you still have page numbers that you need to work with. And a couple of spots where we have poetry, I was able to link to the individual poems. So you'll pull up this screen and you'll see a whole bunch of things and it'll look pretty overwhelming. But remember that it's poetry, so I'm linking to a poem which might be pretty short. So hopefully that helps. Just make sure pop-up blockers are turned off. That will make this work. And if you have this pop-up opened up here, and let's say I was going to go open a poem in a different module, it will still open up in this window. So you kind of have to, if you're trying to save certain things, use the bookmark function. So hopefully this works, and let me know if you have any questions. This is new to us this semester, but I think it's going to work really well, and I think you're going to like it.